Okay, so today we're gonna look a little bit more into panning, how we can edit with those, zoom into a screen, also with the panning how we can track something, though that's a little bit more tedious and manual. We're gonna look into audio, how we can manipulate it to sound like it's going from left ear to right ear, making it louder, or just I don't know, muting it in general. And then we're gonna look at video speed to make it faster or slower, like the duration, I mean. Alright, so we're gonna start a new project. So what I like doing is we're gonna go here to the desktop, and then so I just threw a bunch of words together and made a file. So I like opening the file and just having it here. So I'm gonna use this MP4 file, and I'm going to put it into the Sony Vegas. I ripped this off for YouTube. It's really bad because the website I use it for, it makes the project into 640 by 360, and that's doesn't look not good. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a small section of this. Yeah, so we're gonna start it from here. Alright, that's all I want. And probably gonna cut like right here. I'm gonna have 0 offset for the audio. So here's a little here's where the panning's a little bit confusing. So instead of just grabbing the screen here and like zooming in and out, you have to actually go here and click that event pan. It's gonna open up this window. It looks really confusing, but it should be fine. F's for focus or failure. Basically, what you're gonna want to do, well, say I want to zoom into her face, right? I'm gonna grab this. I'm just gonna zoom it right here. I'm gonna zoom all the way over here. That close, and I'm going to track her face. Now since we did that, it's going to cause a key animation, and that's going to be right here, this little diamond. Okay, so I realized my explanation in how to do the panning and all that was kind of stupid. So as I'm editing the video, I'm just going to do it really quickly here. So you have a video here, right? There's this thing right here. It's called event pan or crop. You're gonna click that. It's gonna pop up this window. It looks a bit confusing, but let's just say the F is for focus. You can rotate it, or you can make it smaller and all that. Basically, whatever you do here, it's gonna affect the video here. But where you do it, say where my black line is, it's all the way at the beginning of this video clip. It's going to affect the video as a whole. Now default, this little key, what is it called? Keyframe. This little keyframe here is at full screen. If you were to go to some random point in the video, let's say right here, right? And you just zoomed in, it's gonna make a new keyframe. But since it's already at full screen here at the beginning, what it's gonna do is it's going to slowly pan into what your keyframe is. Now typically, if you want to make like a jump cut and not a slow pan, I would just usually just make, let's say I want to have a jump cut from here to here. I don't want to like have a slow zoom in and then zoom out from here, okay? I want to just have a jump cut instantaneously right here until here, and then it goes back to full screen. What I would do is I would cut and I would cut, so it's just a separate video and audio by itself. I mean, you don't have to cut the audio. And then from here, at the beginning of this new clip, I would click here, I'd move this a little bit somewhere, and then I would just like do this, right? And then I'd erase the full screen keyframe that was by default, and I would drag this keyframe all the way at the beginning. So now it's like that all the way at the beginning, right? I know it's a little bit confusing, but basically now the video is going to be from here in this focus. It's going to be that, and if you want to track something, you would have to follow the object from here, and then you would follow it with this, and it would make a new keyframe. And you can move by like frames if you want, or you can just do this, and then you would follow it, and then when you rewatch the video and you drag it, you can see how it follows the object like that. You can watch this little this focus thing track it. If it's not all the way done, if you add more keyframes, it makes it more accurate, you know? So you can do that. It's very tedious and it's very manual. If you want to go back to full screen, you would right click it and go to restore. But the way how I told you to do it, by making 2 clips right here, these 2 things, it would be zoom, and then once this new clip starts, it would go all the way back to full screen. So watch. Actually, hold up. Let me erase this keyframe. So then it would look like this. It's like bam, full screen. Easy, hopefully. Well, it's a little bit difficult, but once you mess around with it, like experiment, then you should be able to get it. It's gonna do this. An instantaneous change. Okay, so the end of this little section that I cut right here, this thing, the end of it, it's going to be, so this little section right here is just going to be Yui, or this girl who's fucking going ham. And then the next frame after this cut is going to be, I guess, the teacher. So this part right here is where I want to start my panning. So these, by default, they're going to be in full screen. I just want this to have the panning and the tracking. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to click right here. This is going to pop up this window. Okay, so we're going to edit this so we can have a little panning and a little tracking on Yui's head. It's going to follow her like that. Keep following her face. But see how we like spread it is it's very spread out, and it doesn't guarantee like a good tracking. So if you watch the video, it's gonna do something like this. Actually, that wasn't bad. That's actually not bad for a track, but you can like check over your work by just doing this and watch how the tracking goes. The more keyframe, the more accurate it's gonna be. Yeah, and that's basically the gist of it. It's very tedious, but if you're trying to make a funny video or just trying to track something, and you can polish it up however you want, how long you want, just to make the tracking clean. Right now I'm just doing it really like half-assed. Okay, so now we're gonna go add in an audio. It's gonna be this one, yeah. We're just gonna drag it in. It's gonna make the peak, and I just want something from the song. So now obviously there's gonna be an issue where you hear both audios at once. You're just gonna click this exclamation point. It basically solos out the audio. If there was more audios, it would just mute them and just solely focus on this. You can do it for multiple audios, so it can be like 2 audios out of 3 it's being played. But for now, I'm just gonna listen to this. Okay, so I want to start right there. For now, we're gonna have 0 offset, but that's that. And then now we're gonna unmute that. I'm gonna line it up with the scene where she's dancing or whatever. So I'm gonna want to make the illusion that like as the camera's panning to each of the kids, and once it reaches Yui, it's gonna play the song. But I want to make the illusion that it's coming like from the left side, and then as the camera's panning, it gets louder. Since it's coming from the left side, it's gonna go transition from the left ear to both ears. So first we're gonna work with the fade in. Once it reaches Yui, right here, a little bit earlier, right here, we're gonna go up until that point. so it's gonna sound like. Alright, if you want to take the overall volume and just like make it lower, you can click here where it says gain, just drop it a little lower. Okay, and then we're gonna click here and touch. So if it's on read, if it's on this, you're gonna want to switch it over to automation right touch. Basically, once you click it, everything you do here with the volume, the centering, if you want it to mute, when you play the video and you mess with it, it's going to write it down, and it's going to be like, okay, so this is how he wants the audio to be like. I want the audio to start from the left ear, and then it's going to gradually go to the center once it reaches Yui. So I'm going to go press play, and then I'm going to gradually slide it to the center. Okay, so now I want to boost up the volume when it reaches Yui, and then I'm just gonna mess with this, the volume slider, to just go up when it reaches that point. I'm gonna do it really abruptly so it has that like effect that's like, oh, it's for coming from Yui. I don't think I can get any video to like fast forward or slow down in what I'm editing, so I'm just gonna show it to you real fast so you can see how it looks like when you speed up or you slow down. So let's see, we're just watching this. I'm just gonna focus on that. It's Cookiezy's play, and let's see, I want to like make this section of his video like fast because it's nothing. He's not doing anything important. We're just going to hold down control, and then you're going to see these squiggly lines. Normally you can like trim the video, but if you hold down control, you're actually making it fast forward. Conversely, if you stretch it out, you actually make the video go in slow motion or slower.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me. Thinking about what could have happened or what could have been. Finally your face, I know ain't that a sight to see. Take my time, then take your clothes off one more time maybe. Acting like you don't recall it ain't impressing me. Didn't come to see your friends, I know you came for me. Like your dress, but you fit better in my wrinkled tee. We moved on to newer things, but we got history. Put my feelings all aside, don't know what to make it right. Pictures popping on my mind, all these occasions, let's work it out with me. I don't think it hurts to give another try on it. Ain't nobody here know you like I do. Ask all your friends if they know about your size of shoes. How you like to cry when you laugh, when you off the booze. I moved on but I still remember a thing or two. I know you said give me a hug, and I said give me a break. I wasn't trying my best, all the mistakes that I made, I'm learning that it ain't the right move. Learn from my mistakes, ain't that what the adults do? We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me. Thinking about what could have happened or what could have been. Finally your face, I know ain't that a sight to see. Take my time to take your clothes off one more time maybe. Acting like you don't recall it ain't impressing me. Didn't come to see your friends, I know you came for me. Like your dress, but you fit better in my wrinkled tee. We moved on to newer things, but we got history. Hey, yeah. Bet you got nobody around to make your day better. Sun brighter, don't got too much time, so girl, let's fun. Now and talk later. Put your pride aside and let me in. You know I got better sins. You so good at self-control, but maybe now it's time for change. I've been alone for so long. Got the one, didn't realize good ones exist in the world till I lost one. Eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind.
K-音楽か.
Fuck your bitch, fuck your
ゆうちゃん上手ね。
あ、ラーメン。